Did Vader let Kenobi go? In chapter 3 of Kenobi, Vader puts Obi Wan on the back foot, and towards the end of the episode, it really seems as though the Dark Lord has assuredly defeated his old master, beating him in lightsaber combat and then followed up by dragging the Jedi Master through the fire. The whole entire interaction was only interrupted after Fala, a new ally to Kenobi, interrupted the moment by setting off highly reactive materials causing an explosion. NED B, the lifter droid, then drops in and carries Obi Wan away while the stormtroopers try to shoot him, missing completely, which really is just unsurprising. But what might be really surprising is that Vader doesn't move an inch and seemingly doesn't even try to stop Kenobi's escape. You might say, well, there was a big fire in between them which stopped him from crossing. Even the stormtroopers were having some real difficulty, so perhaps it was a pretty intense fire. But that might not be the case. Vader is clearly quite powerful enough to push the fire aside, and we've seen this when Vader drags Obi-Wan through the fire, finally stopping and then pushing Obi-Wan away with a mighty force push, which in the process actually puts out the surrounding fire. So there's no real reason as to why he couldn't do it again. Not to mention, given Vader's powers and abilities, he could have simply walked through the fire, jump over it, or simply reach out with the Force to stop Kenobi from leaving. However, the Dark Lord does none of this and instead chooses to stand there and watch as everything unfolds, which makes me think that Vader actually chooses to let Obi-Wan go, at least for now. And the key reason why lies in what Vader tells Obi-Wan as he starts torturing him.
Now you will suffer, Obi-Wan.
So the fire didn't actually stop Vader from catching Kenobi, rather Vader chose to let Kenobi go simply because he wants to prolong tormenting Obi-Wan. To put it simply, Vader isn't interested in giving Kenobi a quick death or ending the fight easily. Since their most recent encounter, Vader probably realizes that he can do that. Given how weak Obi-Wan appeared to be, it wouldn't take Vader much of an effort to end his life. But Vader's motives are much more consumed with the need to make Kenobi suffer, and so by letting Kenobi go, it essentially ensures that Kenobi will forever live in fear and with the knowledge that Vader is always hunting him and that there is nothing that he can do to stop it. Even since Vader's defeat on Mustafar and up until this point, he has been living in constant agony. The pain of losing his limbs and burning on Mustafar didn't really end there. In fact, it's canon that even as Vader puts on his suit, he is still in constant pain, which is why he needs back-to baths so often. And so knowing that it was Kenobi that put him in this position, it really is no question that Vader wants to put Obi-Wan through the same thing. After all, that's why he decided to put Obi-Wan into the fire, mirroring his past situation on Mustafar. Given Vader's desire for revenge and his clear arrogance that many Sith seem to possess, it would not be a far cry to say that Vader let Kenobi go. He is far more interested in toying and tormenting his prey rather than give Kenobi a quick end. After all, from his perspective, where would the fun be in that? But simple revenge might not be the only answer. For all of Vader's need to make Kenobi suffer, Vader is also a very cold, calculating guy. Most of the time, there are other reasons as to why he makes certain decisions and has proven to be quite intelligent in manipulating events to get what he wants. So what if Vader's decision to let Kenobi go has an ulterior motive? Now, from the audience's perspective, we know that Kenobi is forced to come out of hiding to save Princess Leia, but from Vader's perspective, it's a bit of a mystery. So Vader might be questioning as to why it is that after all these years, Kenobi has finally decided to come out of the shadows and risk being captured by the Empire. Now, of course, the third sister has probably told Vader her initial plan on how to lure Kenobi out, which is to exploit his relation with Bail Organa, which could be and might be a plausible explanation that Vader just accepts. But it might also be possible that Vader suspects a much deeper connection of what he does not know. Of course, we the audience know, which is that Leia is his daughter, but Vader at this point in time doesn't really know that. So it's possible that Vader suspects something deeper to Kenobi's reemergence and decided to let him go to see if he can figure out why. Another possible theory is that Vader might be hoping that Kenobi leads him to more Jedi. Knowing that Kenobi is now on the run, he might be desperate enough to seek out other Jedi allies or sympathizers. This would also mean that Kenobi would lead Vader right to them, and by using Kenobi as a trap, Vader would be able to expose the entire hidden network known as the Path while fulfilling his wish of exacting revenge. After all, what would be a better way to torment Kenobi than watching him be the cause of death for all his remaining Jedi friends? We have already heard about Jabim being a safe haven for Jedi, and it's suggested that we might actually visit there. So it could be the case that Vader wants Obi Wan to lead him to this sort of place so that the Empire may wipe out as many remaining Jedi as possible. Either that or Vader is just a lazy robot. Anyways, that's all for this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. I am the Lost Acolyte,
And I've spoken.